So I never really get involved in my relationships because I'm trying to protect that part of me. So I act as though I'm cold. I act as though it doesn't bother me. But that's exactly what it is. It's an act. Because we are humans and we have feelings. And guess what? I don't care how anybody tell you I don't feel anymore. It's not true. As long as you're in this human body, you have feelings and you have emotions. And lastly, you see the appeasers. So the fighters, the flighters, the freezers, and then the appeasers. Which one are you? Appeasers are the ones that I like to say that have set themselves on fire to keep everybody warm. So I'm going to put gasoline all on this chair, and then I'm going to light it up, and it's on fire. You're the only one burning in the room. But guess why they're not putting it out? Because your fire is doing what? Huh? Keeping them warm. So are they going to come and put your fire out? You're the strong one in your family. You're the sister that takes care of everybody. You're the brother that takes care of everybody's need. You go and see after your friends. You go and help them all. You go and give them your last. You sacrifice. And then when you need it, where are they? Nowhere to be found. Appeasers. You'll set yourself on fire. You know it's wrong. You know you don't like it. But if it pleases him, if it pleases her, then you go with it, because my story told me you're not good enough. My story told me no one would ever want you. So then I put up with things in relationship that I never would have put up with. But because I'm afraid of my story, being alone, never having no one, I put up with it. And I appease. So you're going to see people that are appeasers. What if you understood appeasers from that perspective? The only reason why I'm putting up with it is because my story. Not that I love him or love her that much. I'm afraid of my story. My story told me you'll never have nobody. You too fat, you too ugly, you too skinny, you too black, you too white, you too this. And so therefore, I put up with stuff that I know I never would have put up with. So here's your exam, teachers. This is your pop quiz, and then I'll let you go. We talked about the event, we talked about the story, and we talked about the behavior. Which one are we here to change in our roles, in our jobs, in our profession? So the pop quiz. Those that say my event, raise your hand high. Event. No one? No one? Okay. My story, raise your hand high. Okay, no one? 1, 2. My 3. My behavior, raise your hand. All right. And some people said, I am not going to take this quiz. I don't know what, I'm not going to fail, so I just take a incomplete. So the one we're trying to change is my story. That is the hardest part for therapists. That is the hardest part for teachers, is to look inside that person's life and change the story, even for preachers. Trying to change a story, the narrative that you have, that I'm not good enough, that I'm a failure, because it's the story that shapes the behavior. We can start with the behavior, but this is why when you take people to a 30, 60-day, 90-day drug program, what they do 30, 60 days later? They do what? They go back to the same thing. And so it makes it feel like the program failed or that person is a failure. But that's not it. We can change a behavior just like that. If you want to get off drugs, I can get you off drugs. You want to get off porn, I can get you off pornography. But if we don't deal with the root, and the root is my what? Then the moment that we let you out of that addiction place and you triggered by that story that I'm not good enough, I'm a failure, guess what you're going to do to go and solve that story? You're going to go back, because the story is shouting at me and screaming at me, you're a failure, you're not good enough, look at you, no one would ever want you. So then I have to go and do something to calm that story down. So the hardest challenge for us and dealing with people with trauma is trying to get them to change their story. I matter, you matter. I matter, I matter. I did 25 years in prison. Boy, you ought to see everybody's eyes like, what? I worked 25 years in prison. And I retired about 5 years ago. And I remember before I left, they sent me in, I was dressed like this, into our rock out of bad people of the prison that they get 23 and 1. And they were rioting. So my director of the prison said, Charles, you're the only one that can go down there. I said, me? You figure I'm the only one. These folk down here, you know, they do the worst. Knock your teeth out, throw feces on you when you come and stuff like that. I ain't going in there. He said, Charles, I believe you can do it. I said, okay. So I said, open the door. Let me go in. They said, Charles, you don't want to go in. I said, open the door. Let me go in. Because they so used to them people calling them, sit your monkey such and such down. So they, woo, shut up, you, blah, blah, blah. And I said, you can't talk to them like that. They used to that story. But I walked in, and I said, hey, yeah, what you want? Open the door. The man opened the door. Like, this is weird. What you want? I just want you to come out to my office. Like, yeah, it's real. Come to my office. And they sitting in my office like, yeah, you're a person. What do you want me to do for you? Can I get some bread? Can you bring him some bread? Like, this is some weird stuff. I'm trying to change your story. Long story short, I'm sitting on the rock with all 23 guys, killers out. And guess what we watching? Young and the Restless. And people are shaking. The officers who got batons and mace, they scratching their head. How, when I just walk up to their room, they throw urine on me, and you sitting out with all of them because I just helped them change their story. You're not a monkey. You're not a badass. He finally got